Mark, a lot of us laymen won't know what biobanding means. Can you tell us more about it?
Essentially, biobanding is actually looking at the application of growth and maturation to chronological age. So the simple example is that we can have a chronological age, which refers to sort of like the calendar year, so you can be 16, 16.5 or something like that. And then there's also how our body actually sort of develops. So from a physiological, specifically a biological point of view, we actually develop at different rates compared to what our chronological age is. So we refer this to biobanding or biological age as such.
And how does that apply to sport then?
Specifically for youth sports, what we actually do is we always cut our age groups in chronological age. So you'll have an under 16s, an under 17s, and under 18s. Specifically for a sport like rugby, which is so physical and so like contact based, growth and maturation and an athlete's biological age actually plays a big impact on how successful they are within those individual groups. So as I sort of said before, a player's chronological age can be 15, but biologically they could be either early developing or late developing. So an early developer could be chronologically 16, but biologically 17 or 18, and playing against a whole heap of other kids that are 16 there. Consequently, there could be also another 16 in that age group there that's actually biologically 14. So all of a sudden there, you've got a biologically 14-year-old and a biologically 17-year-old playing in the exact same sort of age group. So then there's obviously sort of a performance bias there.
And how does it affect your job as an S&C coach?
There's a couple of different ways that we can kind of look at. From an S&C perspective, there's different training modalities and different sort of like adaptations that we're looking to get from our youth athletes. Now, growth and maturation obviously affects that. The other thing, the main thing that we're actually using it for within the academy is actually to standardise how we actually assess their physical performance. So again, like we could have an under 16s group, and one kid is showing much more sort of like they're just lifting more weight essentially, okay, within a particular lift. Now that could be because that kid is actually an early developer, they're biologically developed a lot quicker, so obviously they have greater muscle mass and a greater strength basis. Whereas our other kid that could be 2 years behind, we're assessing them in the same sort of group and actually saying that he's really weak, when really we're probably not standardising for that biological age.
So do you think that if this had been around earlier, we might have more Shane Williamses, more Carl Eastons playing the game?
Yeah, 100%. Like it allows us to essentially look at potential or future performance and get an insight into that. And essentially, that's what academies are there for. We're there for sort of developing future, for developing potential players to play for Bath. So this information actually gives us an insight into that puzzle piece of what is. Who is the next sort of Bath senior academy or Bath sort of first team player that comes through.
Do you think it'll be fully implemented across the board anytime soon?
It's hard to say. Like the Premier League are actually using a lot of this information already, slightly differently to how we're sort of using it. To my knowledge, we're the only club that's sort of implementing this growth and maturation in this particular way. There's loads of other clubs that will be using this information in their own way. Again, it's hard to comment on that, but yeah, I think there will be a big push to using this more in sports, but given the sort of competitiveness and the big money that's going around within sporting and identifying talent.
It might stop a teenager, for example, feeling the need to pack on the pounds and hit the gym hard and lift those heavy weights just because he wants to make maybe a shortcut to getting into the first team.
Yeah, definitely. I suppose it also does place the players a bit more at ease because they know where their sort of like development level is, and they're not trying to chase things that really are out of their sort of reach at that particular point in time. So looking at that under 16 that's biologically 18 and actually going like I should be as strong as him, not always the case.
So you think it could be revolutionary for the sport?
Oh, 100% revolution. It's probably the best thing that's come